Hello, my name is 𝘰𝘰𝘯𝘯𝘦𝘤𝘵. I'm a fellow in geography at Emmanuel College. I'm making this short video to say a little bit about my research and to say a little bit about where I see future directions in my thinking. So I'm a human geographer, which means I'm interested in the social and the political aspects of geography. I'm particularly interested in the question of states, how states are made, the kinds of borders that are created in the making of states, the ways in which ideas of political authority are communicated and enacted across space. So I've looked at those questions in the context of post-conflict environments, and in particular in the context of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Much of my early work was driven by quite a simple question that ended up having a very challenging set of answers. The question was, how do you recreate the idea of a coherent state in the wake of violent conflict of the type that was seen in Bosnia and Herzegovina in the 1990s. So my early work, culminating in a book called The Improvised State, published in 2013, this early work looked at the multiple ways in which the state, ideas of the state, coexist after such violent conflict, far from there being a single idea of Bosnia and Herzegovina that everyone agreed with and could unify behind. What I argued was we saw multiple coexisting understandings of what the state was or what the state should be in the wake of violent conflict. Now, as the title of the book suggests, I was really drawn on dramaturgical ideas of improvisation, because my argument was that the state wasn't a fixed and static institution. It was a set of improvised practices we saw performed by a whole range of different actors, from the international community to local politicians, even to civil society actors, at different times and in different places, trying to perform the role of the state. Now, in more recent work, I've tried to kind of focus in on this question of political authority, on the role of law, and in particular the role of war crimes courts and their role in consolidating states after conflict. And again, the lens through which I've explored the role of war crimes courts has been the war crimes trials that have taken place in Bosnia and Herzegovina since the end of the conflict in 1995. So at the very start of this year, of 2020, I published a book called The Edge of Law, The Legal Geographies of a War Crimes Court. And this book sought to explore the kind of political consequences of war crimes trials in Bosnia, the ways in which the creation of a war crimes court really reshaped people's understandings of the war crimes trials process, of what the appropriate way of achieving justice for the crimes of the past should be. I was particularly interested in this book in the role of charities, NGOs, human rights groups, and the kind of political role they played in trying to pursue justice through the war crimes trials process that took place in Sarajevo. Now, in future work, I want to explore precisely these questions of the politics of war crimes cases, but perhaps on the international level, to think through at the International Criminal Court, for example, how are different state jurisdictions treated, what kinds of communication between the court and wider society take place, what role do civil society actors play in these processes. So I saw with real interest that Trial International, a tracking impunity charity, published its report just yesterday, exploring the different approaches to universal jurisdiction trials for war crimes, for terrorism offences, Their report explored the different ways in which countries treat war crimes trials, and it made me think again about the very diverse and uneven geography we see to what are purportedly universal processes like war crimes courts. So that's one thing that I'm thinking about while we're at home and working from home while the college is sadly closed. But like all of us, I'm excited about when the college reopens and we can get back to work, and I can see my friends and colleagues as fellows and students as well. So thank you.